Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on three girl boss projects. The first is a TV series called Renegade Nell from Disney Plus. Breathe, starring Milla Jovovich, action sci-fi, and Wildcat, more of an indie period piece movie about a writer. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So first is the TV series now. To some extent, this seems sort of a return to form for Disney. It looks to be a lighthearted, fun kind of TV show. It's sort of woke. I mean, you could see the cast, but that's okay. It's not meant to be taken very seriously. Nell, Renegade Nell, is a woman who's framed for shooting a dude, becomes a highway bandit, and then because of that, somehow she's superpowered by fairies. Like, the fairies give her superpowers, and she's able to beat everybody. And then she also runs around with the locals, like here. March 29th on Disney Plus, if you want to watch it. So, when Nell, I don't know, the fairies just run right into her mouth, and then she's kind of unstoppable. But the fairies also, or people from the fairy realm, are also involved. So there's witches and other creatures. And then there are the bad guys who are just generally in it, and it's the typical messaging. It's like, oh, the elites, they're doing all sorts of horrible things, and only Renegade Nell can stop it. So it's kind of like a swashbuckling adventure. It doesn't look too bad. It looks entertaining, at least. I mean, again, it's very much a rainbow coalition for the cast, but you can almost forgive it because it's not meant to be taken very seriously. It's a series, so it doesn't really have any kind of... See, like, what country does this place take place in? You don't know. But I guess it's supposed to be like a faux England. Maybe it's supposed to be England. And they're pretending like it was a melting pot of humanity at that during this era. Would I watch it? No, absolutely not. It's Disney Plus. I'm not going to give Disney my money, but if you already have Disney Plus and for some insane reason you haven't canceled it yet, I guess you got something that's mildly entertaining to watch. Next up, Breathe, starring Milla Jovovich, who I think's the bad guy in this. The basic premise is the oxygen levels on Earth have become uninhabitable, and yet somehow people are surviving. Somehow. I don't know. They somehow created some kind of airtight bunkers and saved oxygen, or they have oxygen generators, and now Milla Jovovich is a woman who's from another bunker or camp where there's 25 people, and they know there's a dad character who disappears at the beginning, and then they know the dad, so they come to get access to their oxygen machine so they can figure out what is wrong with theirs or something. And then the family that's left behind without the dad won't give them access. I don't quite understand why. They don't trust them, so they end up trying to kill each other. And it just sort of spirals down from there. Seems like... now, if they don't know the dad, maybe they killed the dad, then I understand it. If they actually do know the dad, then that's pretty bad, but no, I don't know. It doesn't really establish it in the trailer, and kind of should. It kind of should establish. I mean, look, these are... I don't know. These are very contrived sci-fi premises in my book that no one's really into. April 26th. It's not very high end. It's like, oh, okay, so the Earth doesn't have enough oxygen and everybody's dying. That's the premise, and then we're gonna go with that. Like, it's a lot to unpack there. If you know anything about science, it's a lot to unpack. Like, how the hell did anybody survive it? Why aren't they working together? Why don't they have radios and phones still? Like, there's so much there, you know. And then it turns into a action-packed movie where they're trying to kill each other. I just don't kind of buy it, but whatever. First act, the dad goes out. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's planting, you know, trees, trying to restart the oxygen on Earth or something, and it's not really working out. And he doesn't come back one day. And the daughters and his wife are left behind to wonder what happened. Then Milla Jovovich and her friend show up, and they plead their case and say they know the father, but I guess they don't believe him or don't care that 25 people are going to die. Don't know if that's true or whatever. They'll certainly die if they don't get inside, if their oxygen runs out, which is apparently another thing. So they end up trying to kill each other. They start drilling into their bunker, and then they go out there and start shooting, and it's like, doesn't seem like to be a good setup for them to kill each other. I think there was a better way to introduce that. Now, if Milla is the bad guy, then it should have been introduced like more like, we're coming in there. You could either give us the machine or we'll kill you and take it. Like something like that. I guess they didn't want to go down that path. Whatever. I guess they're trying to hide a surprise in here. But it's already sort of a conceit, a sci-fi conceit that's, I don't know if it's very creative at all. Like, who can relate to it? You know? But it is what it is. So they fight back and forth, and I assume the girls, the young black women, win the day because they're young, and I think Milla's the bad guy, but I can't be sure. Not really wowing me with this. Let's see. There is a write-up. Air supply is scarce in the near future, forcing a mother and daughter to fight to survive when two strangers arrive, desperate for an oxygenated haven. Oh, we're just going to let them suffocate? This is off. It's just off. Not really digging it. And finally, there's Wildcat. This is about a writer, female writer. I don't know if it's based on anybody, but she writes weird stories that are disturbing. What's her face? Plays the mom. Is her name Carey Mulligan, or am I confusing her with another actress? Anyhow, I think it's in the 50s or 60s. She's religious, but she writes these crazy stories. And some of the scenes are in the stories, and some of them aren't. And she also has some kind of medical issue, and I don't know. It's directed by Ethan Hawke, starring Maya Hawke. I think it's meant to be some kind of very indie. The only thing I can think of is indie film. It's just going to be very personal and very. This is just a weird thing from Vox, an inquiry into the broken nature of grace. What does that mean? The broken nature of grace. Wouldn't grace be the opposite of broken? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess at some point she takes off the glasses, and is she dressing as a man? Is that what she's doing there? Pretending to be a man so she can have a career in writing that she couldn't have before? I don't know. Or is that one of her stories? I can't tell. It's very confusing. Written by Shelby Gaines and Ethan Hawke, directed by Ethan Hawke, starring his daughter Maya, coming soon. So let's get the credits up here. Yeah, directed by Ethan Hawke, based on short stories by Flannery O'Connor. Okay, so it's based on a real writer. All right, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. I mean, I'm a writer, so I'm biased. So these are the three movies. You got Wildcat, Breathe, and then the TV show Renegade. Now, well, on the bottom, I gotta put Breathe. It's just not sitting right. I'm really not rooting for either of the groups. My impulse is to root for Milla because I like Milla in other movies. I don't know enough about her character that she's the good guy. I guess she's the bad guy. Doesn't make it very clear in this trailer. Bad trailer, I would say, and not a great premise. So definitely on the bottom. Number 2 would be Renegade Nell, only because it's a Disney Rainbow Coalition type TV show, which is kind of annoying and needless. I think it would be better if it stuck to some amount of historical accuracy, but it's not. That being said, it does look kind of fun and harmless, but it's on Disney Plus, so I'll never see it. But on the top, probably out of the three of them, I would see Wildcat most likely because it's an art house thing and because it's about a writer, and I like movies about writers. So I think there'd be some interesting aspects of this that could be cool to watch. I don't know how much of it would be true or not true, but again, not great trailers though. Kind of some interesting ideas here, I guess, but why is it so hard to make a trailer? Like, why is it so hard just to tell me the basics of the movie to see if I want to see it? You know, just tell me what this is. Like, you know, if you're gonna, like, for this one, if you're gonna jump back and forth between her stories and real life, it makes the trailer very confusing. For Breathe, it just doesn't. It's just not up to snuff. And for Nell, it's like, I mean, you might as well put it on the moon if it's on Disney Plus. So, anyhow, Wildcat. So that would be my choice of the top 3. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. I will be at the St. Patty's Day Marketplace in Waterford, New Jersey on Atco Ave Saturday, starting around 3. I may be a little late because I'll be coming from another thing, but I should be on time. If it rains, it'll be on Sunday, but the weather's looking pretty sweet in South Jersey these days. All right, that's it for tonight. We'll see you